And I hope everybody's having a nice little Sunday. Ended up, for the majority of the day yesterday, taking it off. I spent an hour with Action for Assange. I'll probably, I'll probably post a piece of it over at YouTube, but the full thing I'll post over at Rockfin, because as we all know, there are certain things we can no longer talk about on this platform. But for now, we can still talk about clones. And why am I talking about clones? Well, I've been going through this little United Nations futuristic, the future is now kind of a roundtable, because Dennis Bushnell, the chief NASA scientist and engineer, someone we've been focusing on, is on this panel. However, there is another gentleman that is basically going through another one of these presentations and PowerPoints, and they have a book for it. I haven't looked up the PDF for the book and seen it, because I think it's a lot more effective. Don't get me wrong. I think it's great when we have them, putting it on paper. I think it's a lot more effective when you hear this stuff come out of their mouths and you see them say it. So this gentleman begins talking about cloning. And he says, we should probably have this future, agreement of laws or thoughts on laws on cloning. And then he brings up, is it going to be okay for you to clone yourself? And if it's okay in the United States or not okay in the United States, will it be okay in Switzerland? And let's say you do clone yourself and, that clone is in Switzerland. Is that a United States citizen? And I'm thinking about, and he chuckles a little bit, and there's some uncomfortable laughter in the audience, as there often is in these things. But people have to realize that technology is already old. And I haven't even gotten to Dennis Bushnell and what he's going to have to say on all this stuff, but I'm sure it's going to be pretty eye-opening, because this is a 2000, I think, 13 or 14, 2000, I think it's for 2013 and 14, and the conference itself was from March of 2014, now 7 years ago. 7 years ago. So you get to kind of watch them openly discussing these things, and then see what's come to fruition, and then you take those points, and then you say, well, what was next on their agenda, right? And that's why we've been focusing on this, because this is really, in my opinion, and I don't think it's really much of an opinion other than a fact, a transhumanist agenda that is unfolding before our eyes. And yesterday, I was hoping to stream to you guys with my buddy Matt, but I don't know, he didn't get back to me. He's got a family. It's okay. I ended up watching the fights with John Fitch online over at Tinkle and Fitch Smash Everything. Now, I had the Askren thing on one side, and then I had the UFC on the other, and the whole thing on both sides was kind of so depressing and alarming. So on the left-hand side, I didn't realize in the beginning I was watching fights, because it was concerts, and then it was pseudo, I would say more than PG-13, not quite R, like stripper stuff. It was weird. And then on the other side, the message over and over and over and over and over and over again was boop boop. Boopity boop, we're all in this together until you boop. It's the only way out. Boop. Boop now. And just celebrity after celebrity after celebrity promoting this boop. And boy, oh boy, that drives me crazy, especially when even after all the folks boop away, they still haven't gotten their freedoms back or anything close. And in fact, even Bill Maher, who I disagree with all the time, okay? All the time, every once in a while, comes out and says something that's so common sense, and goes against the grain of all these honed in, non-thinking drone beings. He said, look, you look at DeSantis. He's like, he did the right thing. He did. He actually praised Ron DeSantis and called out Cuomo. Thank goodness. My God. Thank goodness. Bill, I really hope that this gets you into more of a direction where you realize these civil liberties that all of us need, because this is a civil rights movement, are not even slowly being stripped away. They're being eviscerated now. And it's not just the United States. So let's talk about that. One of the stories we did highlight a couple days ago is that this police sergeant out in Canada refused, to serve any warrants to these people, right? Well, guess what? He decided that he was going to be a human being, go maskless, and hug people, too. They don't like it when you hug people. Apparently, hugging people is bad. We shouldn't hug one another. But I just want to thank that guy for having the stones to stand up to the system, because, the system kicked him right back in those stones. They suspended him immediately. They suspended that guy. So I have not seen what they did after that. I don't know exactly where this is going, but I would not be surprised if now, since, local police, the sergeant is unwilling to allow these people to enforce their unjust, totalitarian, non-lawful fines to these people, they're going to bring in the next level of police. And that's what they're going to do. And that's, that's the game plan. People don't seem to get that game plan. They don't seem to understand that that's why that's important. So, next thing I want to briefly talk about, phones. It's in there, phones, technology, right? Because all this technology, it's very real. How much you're going to be able to, mask your identity or have any kind of secure communications is probably slim to nil. But one of the things I've been looking into is Graphene OS. And this is a call to all you tech heads out there. What do you know about Graphene OS? Because I've been looking into it, and with Graphene OS, basically, you have to have a certain type of phone in the Google Pixel series, and then you can supposedly de-Google it, strip it of just about everything you want, and, I'm not sure whether or not you need a burner number. I've been told you have to buy these phones cash because they can still get your IMEI number if it's through a credit card, etc. So Graphene OS, because one of the things that I've been discussing for quite some time is that we need new forms of communication, especially a new internet, right? One of the things this guy's talking about, to come full circle to the clones, was this discussion of the brain and how everybody should be able to access all quote unquote public knowledge. But public knowledge isn't always correct. And constantly what I see with these people is they do not want dissent. They do not want an open discussion like they are pretending to have there, right? They want control. They're like, well, public knowledge. Well, public knowledge, as we know, time and time again, is sometimes a shadow of the truth. Sometimes not even a portion of the picture, but an out and out lie, an inversion of reality. And if that is the case, and these people are still in power, because I don't see their power being taken away, they literally want to feed us a pseudo reality in which they create. And, that's why I really harp on NASA, because when this guy, Bushnell, starts talking, not about the stuff we showed in his speech, but in another interview about space travel and how virtual space travel is going to be the thing. See, they're making you believe that your next generation, we're going to colonize the moon, Mars, whatever we want to do. We're superheroes. No, they're going to have an awesome virtual reality game where they pretend that you're experiencing like what it's like to be on Mars. And by that time, these holodeck type experiences may be on even what you see in Ready Player One, if you haven't seen that. So that's where I'm coming with this one, guys. I'll probably do a live video today on top of it all, but I had a great day yesterday with my niece. We went for a bike ride. It was awesome. It was a nice day. We did some barbecuing. Like I said, I caught up on the MMA and the fights, broadcasted with Fitch. Sometimes I like to shut my mouth a little bit too, so it's nice to just kind of take a day off, even though I didn't really. And the links down below are where to support me. Make sure to make that free Rockfin account. We're almost at 15,000 followers. And then if you are a premium subscriber, you get all the bonus content as well. And everybody's premium stuff. It is such a great deal. It's like a Netflix for creators, truth and diverse opinions. And for me, that's what it's all about. Not just, you know, basically going along to get along and feeding into a narrative that is destructive to humanity on so many levels, And you guys that haven't figured that out yet need to come out of your freaking box. You need to come out of your freaking box. You need to start having some hard conversations with yourself first. With yourself first. Are you going to be the one to stand up? Will you tell your loved ones? Will you try to do it in a manner that is the least confrontational and the most effective? Right? A tough balance. I'm not perfect, I know. So thumbs this video up on the way out, guys. Let's get 100 thumbs before I go. I just want to say I love you, and I'll see you on the flip side. Thank you so much.